Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Future Trading with Mike, and today is June the 9th. It is Thursday morning. Markets are open. Um, and I always like to start off by thanking everyone who's currently subbed or subscribed to the channel. Thank you for doing so. Please make sure you click the little bell icon next to the subscribe button so that you never miss one of the uploads to the channel. I'm a price action trader, guys. I started off this channel several months back just to basically for educational purposes for myself, being able to record my trades so I can reflect back on and understand my own trading style. So I, just kind of improve. And that's, as traders, we want to be able to improve each day, day by day by day, week by week, year by year on how we trade. That's not to say that, we like I use one particular strategy. I trade supply and demand, of course, right? All right, and I have not always traded supply and demand because when I first started off, I was trading a different method or style of trading, which didn't really work out for me, back then. And I'm not, did I have some wins? Yes, I did. But I took on many more losses than I did wins when I started off some 10 years ago. But supply and demand to me is kind of the foundation, the bread and butter to how I actually trade, because it just makes sense if you think about it. I mean, would you rather get in at an area of just support and resistance where the move could be slightly or halfway done, or or get into a move where the origination of the selling or the buying took place once price would trace back to a certain zone or level. Okay, so I don't like just trading, particularly like breaking retests of certain areas, meaning price breaking an area of support or area of resistance and then price pulling right back to it. Because to me, that's just not the area of where price started at, where the selling started at, where the buying started at. So and not just that, you got to think about the big players in the market, the institutions, the market makers, the ones that are actually driving the bus, that are pushing they're driving the force, that are pushing the markets. And it is their goal to understand this, guys. It is their goals to stop you out, to collect your money. As retail traders, that's something we just don't have, can't afford to be able to do. So you get to learn and trade like them and think like them and understand, going back and back testing and understanding where the market most times will come back to is an area of supply and demand. Why? Because the market makers want to get into an area where buy low, meaning that they want to get into a price area where they can buy cheap and sell high, so it just makes sense. So I don't know how any other way to explain certain things. I think some people it's just not going to get it. Trading is not for everybody. You must understand that trading is not for everybody, and you have to have a visual eye for understanding price movement, understanding price action. Yes, you can understand market structure. What is market structure? Market structure is no more than the price making higher highs, higher lows, and swinging up to the upside or swinging to the downside. So if it's making structure to the upside, at some point it's going to turn around and start breaking structure to the downside. When I say breaking structure to the downside, meaning it's breaking through areas of structure that were priced to the left of it was breaking to the upside. It's turned around and it's starting to break that same structure to the downside. And as it's breaking that structure to the downside, it's also making new structure to the downside, meaning if it's moving down, it's breaking through an area of support on a pullback, it's breaking through an area of support on a pullback, it's breaking through an area of support on the move to the downside. The flip side, it does the same thing. It breaks through areas of resistance, going up, pulling back to the area of resistance, which was a prior area of resistance, is now, we'll just say what we say it is. We'll leave it as we'll leave it for what it is, and that's price pushing higher, pulling back to an area of what was resistance, breaking through it, and then pushing higher again. So it has its ebbs and flows. I hope you guys understand that. If you don't, then you're really going to have to go back and understand and follow market structure. But the biggest thing in trading is you have to be able to see it, to understand the move. And the key to it is you always want to look for price to be breaking structure. Okay, and then say, okay, is price is breaking structure? Is it creating an area of aggressive buying or aggressive selling? So if we're breaking through an area of structure, was there a lot of buying that took place as it was breaking through that area? So you got to think about things. You got to think. You got to think. Trading is just not like red light, green light. It pulls back to every little level. Let's take a trade. That's not the way you do it. If you do it that way, then you will be stopped out. Okay, so I don't know how to kind of reinforce that or really stress that anymore. Sometimes I get kind of tongue twisted because, I want to say so much. My thoughts are, my mouth speaks quicker than the thoughts coming out of my mouth sometimes. So it's a little bit frustrating. And people do not understand. I think some people do get it, but trading and trying to record live and discuss your trades is like, it's not to say it's impossible, but it's next to impossible because it's hard. You have to be mentally focused. This is not just going to, doing a job and it's like you train to do it, so you do the same thing routinely every single day. The markets are live. It's a creature in itself, so you have to be able to read it and understand it. If you do not understand whatever it did today, it may have not done yesterday, and it may not have done the day before. It is the market makers' goals, the institutions. It is their goal every single day to change the game. So you may not be able to read what the market's done the day before or the day of. A day prior. So it's always evolving, doing something new, and you have to be able to read it. So if you're interested about maybe broadening your own education about the markets, look down in the description portion of the video. I've included, and I've said this time and time again, I am not here to instruct in a sense. I'm not an educator. I'm just basically showing you my style, the way I trade, and discussing my trades. Okay, it's up to you. Whatever strategy you have to learn a strategy yourself. And I'm not here to, like most people do, they charge you, they may have like a course they charge for, whatever the case is. And I don't, I've taken things like that in the past, guys. 10 years ago, I bought into one course. Did it work out for me? Heck no. So you have to learn a strategy, you have to educate yourself. I learned this from scratch myself, guys. I had to kind of like watch many videos. I did a lot of reading. And to be honest with you, the reading helped more so than videos did, because the reading helped me understand the fundamentals of trading, the technicals of trading. It helped me develop a trading plan. It helped me develop not saying the strategy itself, but I was able to kind of doing a lot of reading. I was able to start to understand, I guess, certain strategies. I would say, because there's all different types of strategies out there that people can trade. But to me, when I came across supply and demand and started reading more about that, and then looking at a couple of videos, then I started understanding the reason why supply and demand was just so effective. And that's why I just stuck with that. And I honed in on supply and demand and learned everything I could about supply and demand, and really understanding market structure, because market structure is one of the biggest things. You have to understand and be able to read what the market is, and you have to follow price action. And once you're able to read price action, then you will be able to understand and see on the charts where those areas of supply and demand rest at. That's the key to it. But there's rules to it as well. So this is why I put down in the description portion of this video those books. Those books are important. I mean, you have to be able. Some people just don't. I don't think they have the patience or want to sit there and read a book or whatever the case is. That's fine, but you're going to have to start from somewhere. You're going to have to get educated. You're going to have to learn. And I'm not an educator here to hold your hand and then show you every step of the way, whatever, guys. I said this in the beginning. My videos were created simply for my own educational purposes, okay? And then I just noticed that it started getting traction when I started posting them online. And I just said, okay, well, I continue posting my videos. Maybe they'll inspire or help someone out there. And that's when I started answering questions, and more so explaining things in detail about, how I trade. Now, I'm not saying follow the way I trade. I trade based on what I see, how I see it in the market, and I know in my mind it makes sense. So that's just how I trade, So these YouTube videos, these videos I've created, guys, over the past several months, as I stated, they were for my educational purposes only, guys. And now I've never tried to get anyone to try to follow my style of trading the way I trade, whatever the case is. I just thought that putting my videos out there, maybe someone, like I said, would be inspired. Maybe they kind of understand the way I trade. There's people trade supply and demand, the style of trading every single day. And like I said, maybe they incorporate something else into their trading that kind of gives them or helps them get a better edge. It just depends on who you are. I'm a pure price action trader, and I trade supply and demand. And I like using the volume profile. There's other tools that you can use, I'm sure, that people use to, maybe they read the tape as well. They read the tape, and looking at where price may be in the area of supply or demand, and they look at the tape to see, what the market is doing. So they're reading order flow as well. So there's so many different ways of actually things you can incorporate into your trading. So you have to develop your own style of trading, and that's the key is developing your own style of trading, guys. I mean, these videos, they're for entertainment purposes, but more so is to help me, because like I said, I started doing these videos so I can post and keep a running catalog of my trades daily, so I can go back and reflect on them. But and maybe that's something you want to do in the future too. But I just noticed they started getting traction online with individuals, or people just started subscribing, and people just had questions about supply and demand or whatever the case is, but I just don't have the time to be doing. I'm not an instructor. I'm not here to instruct someone on every step of the way of how I trade. Now, if you got questions and you understand supply and demand, you understand the way I trade, and I can answer those general questions from time to time. But I'm not here to walk someone through, starting from the beginning. If you don't know how to, if you're a beginner trying to learn how to trade, then there's a lot of different. You've got to start from trading 101. You've got to understand some things, because you just can't jump over and just say, "Oh, I'm gonna learn strategy," and you don't know about market structure, you don't know about price action, you can't read the market correctly, and then just think you're gonna be able to trade off of every little level that price pulls back to. That's not the way this works. You've got to understand what is supply and demand, and being able to see it really on your charts. And those that understand the way I trade, I don't mind answering questions from time to time, but I just don't have the time to sit and be getting inundated by lots of the same questions, and it just tells me, okay, this person's not really understanding. Maybe they don't understand market structure. Maybe they don't understand how to really truly read the market, because if they don't understand why I took a trade at a certain area, then that just tells me that they still have got some learning to do. And I'm not here to train someone or teach someone for the beginning how to trade. That's not my end goal here. My end goal was just to be able to put videos out here based on how, what I do daily, show them, be able to record my daily trades and and that's when I started posting them. And individuals started saying, "Oh yeah," a lot of people started saying, "Yeah, I trade like you," trade supply and demand. They understand it. So there's a similarity there. It's easy to converse with people who understand supply and demand and why I took certain trades, whatever the case is. But it's not my goal to it's not my goal to sit here and to instruct. Now, if you're looking for that, I'm sure there are individuals out there that have a course that you can purchase, and a course that you can actually purchase, and maybe they have the time to do one-on-ones and walk you through from the beginning of understanding the ebbs and flows of the market, understanding market structure, what you should be looking for, how to read price action, to understanding some of the technicals of trading, and help you formulate a strategy that works for you. And maybe they trade supply and demand, and maybe they can show you how to really work trade it from the beginning. But you got to start from the beginning to be able to get to a strategy, to be able to trade. Because if you can't see the market and aren't able to read what it's doing, how can you trade supply and demand? That's the biggest thing. So like I said, it's not my goal to sit here and to be an instructor. I'm not an instructor trying to teach a course. I'm just sitting here trying to record my videos and post them for entertainment purposes for those that want to watch the videos, but more so educational purposes for myself, so that I can reflect back on them. And then if there's individuals that trade and understand the way I trade and have a question about something, I have no problem answering those questions. So let's jump into the video. I can keep talking about that, guys, and like I said, if you're looking for instruction, you probably need to find someone that has a course that you can probably learn from. I'm not sure whether to charge you, but I've known in the past when I first started and it didn't work out for me. But yes, I paid a pretty penny to get into a course that didn't work out, and I wasted my money. So anyways, Moving on, let's move into. I'm going to go ahead and start recording my session for today, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I probably will not be, um, sitting here talking or discussing each one of my trades going forward. This right here, like I said, is just going to be a video. These are going to be video recordings that I'm going to just post to show my trades, show my trading. I trade supply and demand. So what you see is what it is. Off supply and demand levels, whatever the case is. And sometimes I may trade strictly off a 12 range. Sometimes I may incorporate the 4 range into my trading. So it just depends. So I think if you're new and you're trying a beginner and trying to learn, and I'm not going to be going into detail anymore, guys. Really like breaking it down. I may say, this is the reason why I took this trade because there was a supply right here or demand right here. But going into detail about, what I look for, intricate details about every little trade, I'm gonna stop doing that because I just don't have the time for it. And maybe some people get confused about certain things, and then they turn to me and want me to start answering a bunch of questions, and I don't have time for that. I'm not an instructor, okay? So please understand that, guys. All right. This thing is, okay. So let's look at the 60 range chart and see what we have. Okay, so yesterday price pulled back and let's see. Give me a second, guys. Take a look here. Take a look. Yeah, price pulled back to this area right here, bounced out of it, and then cut price over the overnight session. Into the overnight session, 3 o'clock in the morning, pulled back to this zone right here, and then bounced out of it. And then it pushed a little lower this morning at the opening down here, rejecting this area. So this is the reason why it's bouncing right here, if you understand what's going on here. So, all right. So right now we're still moving choppy sideways. Pretty much since the beginning of June, guys. So moving sideways, we're not really breaking any areas, meaning taking out this high here, and when price pulled back here, made a low here, we haven't taken out this low, so we haven't broke to the upside, nor have we broke to the downside yet. We're just trending sideways. Okay, so I'm gonna look at the 12 range to see if I can kind of depict this or anything. The market opened up right here, and so far it's 10:15, well, almost 10:20. Yeah, almost 10:20, and the market hasn't done much. So other than bounce off that area I showed you on the 60 range, and then push higher, but it did make a low here, pull back, make a lower high, and then a lower low. So yeah, so let's see what the market is doing now. Let's see. Let's see. All right, so let's see. All right, so this was a long right here. Price broke up, pulled back to this area, the zone right here. Rejection off of it. Go long, and it took it back up to this area here. Right now we're moving sideways in a wedge, so not much opportunity, to be honest with you. We're moving, there's a wedge right here, so I'm waiting for the price to move out of this wedge area here. It could come back down here, but be careful because if it does come back to this area, we have a high when price pushed up here, made a high, pull back, zone right here, rejected it, go long, but now it's making a lower high right here. So as of right now, so we'll see what happens, but it's in a wedge right now. It's got a low, then it's got a high, and trading within this area. Okay, looking at the 4 range, there was a little short right here. You can see price chopping even on the 4 range right here, moving sideways. So I have to be careful at this point. So I'm not sure. We'll see what price does. Right now, it's not doing much of anything. If it breaks lower here, makes a low here, I may take a trade on a pullback off the 4 range. We'll see. Alright, we got a shift in the VPOC to this area right here. Let's see. Man. Yep. Yeah, the only trade since the market's opened up that I would have jumped into or got into would have been right here. I don't see anything else right now. So. Yep. Price is just chopping around the VPOC, guys. Yeah, that's all it's doing, so be careful. Okay. Let's see if I can. Oops, meant to buy limit. Sorry about that. Guys, I'm trading off a chart trader because okay. Look for the market to come up here. Let's see. Alright, let's see if the market will approach this area. Come on. Alright. Looking for it to come up a little bit. We'll leave it here. Come on. Come on, fill my order. One tick away. Oh, it was right on it, and then it bounced off. Come on. Oh, that's bounced. I'm going to go ahead and get filled. Okay, there we go. Alright, got a quick fill there. Little order. Little trade there. Okay, market is still on the wedge though, so be careful. Alright, first little trade today. 22 ticks off that little trade there, okay? Alright, so that's the first trade. I think I got in. Let's see, right here when this candle closed right here, so I'll pick up a few points there, going back up to the top of this price swung to the upside here, pull back, and I got a little trade here going up. I took a little trade there. Well, price is moving sideways, so be careful. Let's see what we got going on here in the 4 range. Actually, this could be a little entry to go short. Oops. Okay. Okay, come on. Trade on the chart trader, guys, so come on. Alright, go ahead and get filled there. Alright. Price may come back, should come back down to this area down here. Yep, there it goes. Okay. That trade there, I'm up 32 ticks. Gained 10 ticks on that trade there. So 2 small trades so far. I'm up 32 ticks. All right, and I'll take that trade off of the 4 range chart this time, not off the 22. I mean, excuse me, not off the 12 range, but off the 4 range. So I'm thinking, take a look here. Yeah, that was a pullback. All that was a pullback to this area right here. Okay, strictly off the 4 range chart. Price. See, we'll come down here. There's a swing right here. A little area of support sitting here, so that's why I took that trade there. Well, that's not what I'm not saying I took the trade because of the area of support. I'm just saying that I took the trade on a pullback off the 4 range and look for price to come back and test this area of support right here. So, and it could come down here and test back down to the VPOC, to be honest with you. But yes, this is an area of support right here, so that's why price bounced right here. So be careful. Let's take a look at the 12 and see what it's going to do. All right, I mentioned this price is in a wedge, and you have a low. So far, making a lower high here. So price pushed up, pulled back. So it made a high here, made a low. It's making a lower high. So the question is if it's going to break to the downside now. So we'll see. So the market moved like this so far. And I keep saying the market can move. Every single day is doing something different. So it's swung down, pull back, which on the pullback here, and push back up, move back higher, up, made a high. Then it pulls down, okay, it made a low here. Now it's making a lower high. Question is if it's going to pull, move close lower, or is it going to push higher? Don't know yet, right? But one thing for sure we do know is that the market is moving in a definite wedge right now. So it's making a lower high right now, off of this high that it's made. So be careful if it gets back down to this area here, because it made a lower high right here, it could potentially push lower now. So be careful. Now, let's see. All right. I'd like to see maybe to come back up to, I don't know, maybe this area here. We'll see. It could push higher though. Trying to get to this trade down here, guys. Okay. Okay. I know I'm scalping this area. Alright. Yeah. Scalping this area here. Okay, so yeah, that was a quick little scalp off the 4 range. Price pulling back to this area right here. And just taking a quick scalp back up to this little high here. So okay, let's see. All right, let's see my trade performance. Let's see what we got. I had 32 ticks and 36. Okay, I didn't pick up much. So all you guys that ask about, slippage or losing trades or something like that. Guys, here it is, guys. This is my running trade performance for today, and so no losses, no slippage or anything like that. So 36 ticks so far today. Okay, a couple little quick scalps. All right, let's see. Yeah, this was a little, can't really see it, but price bounce off this area here at 81.5, close green. Well, let me take a look at this again. Yeah, I wasn't taking that. No. Got resistance right above you, so yeah, oh man. It's tough. This price action right now. It's tough. Really is. I might wrap it up and call it a day here because I don't like what price action's doing. I don't like price action today. It's been choppy the last several days, and yes, it's a very thick market, so it makes it difficult sometimes to trade. So we have to trade based on purely based on what you see, but following price action. Okay. Taking a little stab short here, but I'm about to be too late on this trade. You can tell already. Yeah, too late already. Yeah. I think I'm a little late here. Little late. What time is it? Yeah, I think I'm gonna take this trade out. Get out of this trade because I don't like what the market's doing. Let's take a push up a little higher. Come on, push on down. Well, looking for a quick little entry that's short. A little scalp, but the market is just piddling around here. push up higher. Move sideways now. Yeah, I'm gonna get out this trade. Don't like what it's doing. Go ahead and get out this trade. Come on. Ah. Come on. Yeah. Come on. I'm gonna get out this trade, guys, and close this out and be done with this for today. May take a tick or two loss here. I'm gonna go ahead and get out. Okay, all right, I'm gonna close it out. And make them on down here. Watch it come on down. All right. Yes, for all those who say, "Well, you don't ever show your losing trades," or "Do you have any losing trades?" Guys, I know when to get out. I know when to I try my best to minimize my losses and I'll say mitigate my losses, I should say, and you know, get out because I know what the market's doing. You can tell when you trade as long as I have, you can tell what the market's trying to do. All right, it's just a matter of following price action, and I've been doing this for years. So I got one tick loss right there on that trade there. So I had 38, one tick loss, 37 ticks for the day right now. So it is what it is. Little loss of one tick right there. So this is my running total for today so far. So all right. Okay. So let's minimize that. Market's moving around, and I'm gonna close the video out because I don't like price action today, and I'm going to be done because the market is so far today. Since the market's open, all it did was push down, made a low here, pull back pretty much, and then make a lower low here. So it's just moving kind of sideways to me, even though we're kind of slowly grinding possibly lower, but we're still within this major moving sideways. Okay, if you can't see it, off the 12 range, price push down here, pull back, and we're moving. Oops, let's do this. Moving moving sideways pretty much. So we just all we have is this low, a high sitting up here, and then price come back testing these similar lows right here, moving sideways, chopping around. So we've been doing that today, yesterday, and the day before. So pretty much it's the third day. Okay. All right, that's going to be it for me today. If you're trading, please be safe in the market. Won't be trading tomorrow, and probably will not be trading next week, guys, because I already mentioned it, but next week is going to be a very busy week for me. So if I don't drop another video next week, please be safe in the market. And yeah, you know, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.